what the rights are. So, and then a lot don't even know what the branches of government are. But I'm going to go a little educational spot right quick. I call it Knowledge is Power Hour. Okay. So I was planning to come on at 5, but I got an appointment at 5:30. So I'm going to do it from 4 to 5. So I'm here a little early. So let's get it on. Feel free to invite some friends and family in. So Don Brown, Mr. Too Easy. So branches and levels of government. Okay. So I'm a big person of less government. That's just me personally. Less government is good. You don't want the government in your business. But let me tell you how it is from local, state, and national. Okay. So most people already know that, but I'm just going to let you know. Let's see. So executive branch, there's 3 branches of government. Executive branch, judicial branch, and legislative branch. And just to let you guys know where I got all this information from, let me tell you. So that way you guys can Google or whatever you need to do. I wrote a lot of notes, so forgive me. So let's see, here we go. So legislative.state.pa.us, Yale University, glc.yale.edu, americanhistory.si.edu, Cornell Law School, law.cornell.edu, education.pa.gov, and then, of course, the governor's website, and then the Senate has a website. Well, all branches got a website. So, boom. So, this right here, this says Materials and Resources to Support Act 35 of 2018, Assessment of Civil Knowledge. So, the 3 branches of government: executive branch, judicial branch, legislative branch. So on the local level, you have your mayor, which is part of the executive branch. Then you have, on the local level, judicial branch, you have your regular court system. Okay, then on the legislative branch, you have your city and borough council and your county commissioners. So that's local level of the executive, judicial, and legislative. So on the local level, executive is your mayor, judicial is your courts, legislative is your city and borough council, and your county commissioners, okay? So let me tell you the duties. These are just blanket duties of each branch. Executive branch, just to make it easy, carries out the laws, okay? Judicial branch decides what the laws mean. And of course, the legislative branch makes the laws, okay? So keep that in mind, okay? So on the state level, executive branch, you have your governor. Judicial branch, you have your state courts. And then on the legislative branch, on the state level, you have your General Assembly, your House representatives, and then your state senators, okay? So that's on the state level. So on your national level, of course, you got your president, you got the Supreme Courts, then you have Congress, and you have the House, and then you have the Senate, because you have congressional congressmen, and then you have congressional senators, okay? So remember, the executive branch, on the 3 levels, your mayor, your governor, your president. On the judicial branch, your 3 levels are city courts, state courts, Supreme Courts, or county courts. That falls under the local too. And then under legislative branch, for local, state, and national, your city, borough council, and your county commissioners, General Assembly, House, and state Senate, and then your Congress, House, and Congressional Senate. Okay? So, what rights do you have as, we're going to say, voters, okay? We can say residents, you can say Americans, whatever you want to put on it, but when you talk about the branches of government, mostly everyone votes, so I'm going to use the word voters, but you can put any word to it, a person, okay? So your rights as a voter, or it says citizens' rights and responsibilities, okay? So we can say citizens. Okay, your rights are freedom to express yourself, freedom to worship as you wish, right to a prompt and fair trial by jury, right to vote in election for public officials, right to apply for federal employment required U.S. citizenship, right to run for an elective office, right, freedom to pursue life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Now, what are your responsibilities? Ooh, what are my responsibilities? I want to know what my responsibilities are now. So my responsibility is to support and defend the Constitution, That's just as a citizen. Okay, that's great. Stay informed of the issues affecting your community. So this is why it's important to know the branches on the local level. Okay, that's going to come back. Okay, participate in the democratic process, which is basically voting. Respect and obey federal, state, and local laws. Respect the rights, beliefs, and opinions of others. Participate in your local community. Pay income and other taxes honestly and on time to federal, state, and local authorities. Serve on a jury when called upon. Defend your country if the need should arise. So that is from the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services under Pennsylvania Department of Education, Commonwealth of the Department of Education, 333 Market Street, Harrisburg, PA, 17126. Website www.education.pa.gov. Okay, so now you know what your rights are. Now you know what your responsibilities are. So when I speak on less government and know your local government, we're smart enough to know if we want to go out during this pandemic. We're smart enough to know if we want to stay in. Okay, so when I say know your local government, so in our city, in Chambersburg, I don't know about other cities, but in Chambersburg, we had 3 officials change their mind on what's going on, which is fine. Teach his own. Everyone has a process. Everyone's doing what they need to do. But as residents, as citizens, as voters, if we tell our elected officials on the local level, whether it's your mayor, whether it's your city council, whether it's your county commissioners, you let them know how you feel about this COVID-19 pandemic in your state, whatever state you're in, okay? In Chambersburg, we have a borough council, which is the same as city council, okay? So you let your city officials know. So that way they can go to either the state level or the national level and say, hey, I got 5,000 voters saying they want to reopen PA. Okay, this is why you should be involved in your local level politics. Okay, it's fine to be, in your state level and your national level. That's fine. Teach his own. But it all starts locally. Because if you don't hit the grassroots locally, then the local level is going to do stuff without your knowledge and may do stuff that you don't want to be done. Only because you may per se, or someone may per se, you know what? I'm not worried about the local election. I'm worried about the national election. I'm worried about the state election. Local election makes a difference. Because local election, guess what? You'll find out whether you're going to pay more fees. Whether, like for us, we have, borough bills and stuff like that. We have fees like for wastewater and stuff like that. This is why you should know what's going on your local level. Because by the time it's coming out of your pocket, now you want to call your congressman. Now you want to call your state senator. Now you want to call your representative. It's too late. We have to start off at the local level first. Because once you beat the door down and grassroots at the local level can go to the state level. So just like the 3 branches, okay, just like the 3 levels, local, state, and national, okay? So your mayor can contact the governor and say, hey, governor, I got 5,000 residents here in Chambersburg saying they want to reopen Chambersburg because he only represents Chambersburg, okay? Chambersburg has like 24,000 residents in it, okay? The borough has like 13,000 or 14,000. Bam. That's easy. Boom. The governor don't want to listen. Guess what? Still in the executive branch. You got the president. Boom. But even then, he can still go to the state senates. He can go to the congressman. That's what your mayors are for. Okay? Because mayors carry out the laws. Governors carry out the laws. Presidents carry out the laws. On your judicial side, it's all courts. On your local, on your state, on your national. So you got city courts, county courts, state courts, Supreme Court. That's only judicial. They decide what the laws mean. Okay? They decide what they mean because they're the one that's interpreting. Okay? So the executive branch carries out the laws. Whether they know what it means or not, they carry it out. Okay? The legislative branch is what makes the laws. So your borough council, your city council, your county commissioners, your general assembly on the state level, your House and Senate, your congressmen and the House and the Senate on the national side, they make the laws. But guess what? Say you live in a city that has a silly law and it's on the local level. But if you don't participate in your local level politics, you can make a difference. It's going to be harder, but if you know the local politics, it's a lot easier when you get to the state and the national level. So when you wonder why you're paying all these high taxes, guess what? You beating down the door of somebody that you see every day. Because one thing I do love about Chambersburg, okay? I can go to Walmart, I can go to BJ's, I can go to Lowe's, and I can run into the mayor, I can run into the state senate, I can run into the congressman, I can run into our county commissioners, all of them right here. That's the wonderful thing about Franklin County and Chambersburg. You see your elected officials. If I see them at least on a monthly basis, if they're not in session, at least on the weekends. It's been many times I've ran into Dave Keller, been many times I've ran into Mayor Beach. Many times I've run into Doug Marciano, John Joyce. Guess what? That's the beauty about being in a county and a town like this, where you know things from the local level and you know who your representatives are because you see them face to face. You may not hold a whole 10-minute conversation, but at least you can say, hey, what's going on, Congressman? Hey, what's going on, State Senator? Boom. And they may say, hey, how do you feel about this issue? Boom. They write that. They making the mental notes and they write down those notes. Okay? Just saying. Knowledge is power. And that's why I'm doing this Knowledge is Power Hour, because we need to know. And of course, we all have different opinions. My opinion is just on giving the knowledge. Who cares what my political affiliation is? My opinion is just on basic knowledge. That's why I gave the resources, okay? The resources. And then there's a book called 3 Pillars of Quality of Civil Education. 1 pillar is knowledge, 1 pillar is skills, and 1 pillar is actions. That's going to be for tomorrow, okay? But let me tell you something. Knowledge is power. I don't care who you are, what race, color, and creed you are. No one is denying you go to a library. No one is denying you use your smartphone and Google. Let me tell you something. I done printed off over 60 pages of reading between this week and last week. Okay, because I was deciding, should I just go ahead and do this and just pass the word, or should I just keep it to myself? I said, you know what? People can tune in. I can save it and repost it. But at least if we just have knowledge out there, because some people don't have time to do the research. Some people don't have time to read 50 pages. That's why I give the resources. You can Google, my sources are legislative.state.pa.us, Yale University. That's glc.yale.edu. Now, a lot of the sites I go to is edu. I don't go to .orgs. That's just me. I'd rather go to educational websites, edu or .govs. That's what I do. Or .us, okay? Because, you know, they're regulated, okay? AmericanHistory.si.edu. There's a lot of information on there. Oh, man, there's one thing on here. I hate to give you the spoiler, but there's one that says Beyond the Ballot. There's an article that says, what's that? Beyond the Ballot. And, man, it was a lot of information. I just printed out some just for tidbits. And a vote, a voice. Wait till you get to that for tomorrow. Vote and a voice and a Beyond the Ballot. That is powerful. That is powerful. Okay? So then Cornell Law, which is law.cornell.edu, and then education.pa.gov. Now, the reason I have the PA in here is because I live in Pennsylvania, so I'm talking about the Pennsylvania stuff. But, of course, each state do have their own education.gov, whether it's Maryland, Virginia, whatever. And then each state do have legislative state, .us. So, I'm just doing Pennsylvania because that's where I live at. So that's what pertains to me. Okay. But, and another reason why I decided to do this Knowledge Power Hour, I'm going to read you because, I'm prior service, I'm Army. They got my little Department of Army little thing in the background. So this is the Armed Forces oath when you join. And I had to do this 3 times because they make sure on the 3rd time, if you want to change your mind, now's to hit the door, kick rocks. So the oath for the Armed Forces, the oath of enlistment for enlisted, I state your name, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and alliance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. Okay? So that is the oath for the military, to join the armed forces, okay? Put your arm up, boom, hand up, boom. I just shouldn't say the arm, but oh well. Now, the elected officials, okay? So this is from the governor's website. So this is from legislative.state.pa.us. It's the elected officials' oath of office. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the Commonwealth, that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Okay? Just saying. That's some powerful stuff. So, of course, I'm going to show you what I have on my other wall right here. Because this right here, you see what that says? Boom. I got the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. Okay? Then I have a little book of the Bill of Rights. Okay? Because these are things I do believe in. I may not know them per se, but I can read them off, and you guys can interpret them how you feel, and I can interpret them how I feel, but we all know that the judicial branch are the ones that decides what the laws mean. Okay, because all of our interpretations will be different. We're different people. We're from different walks of life. But at the end of the day, we have rights to vote. We have rights to do what we need to do, to have, what did it say? I done turned the daggone page. To have pursuit of happiness. Yeah, all that stuff. So these are our rights. Okay, freedom to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, okay? Right to vote. Right to run for an office, okay? Our responsibilities are wonderful. And, you know, I just want to say to everybody that's out there listening, you know, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it, and just be a friend to your neighbor. At the end of the day, you know, we need to go back to that, because at the end of the day, no matter who you got in office, I'm going to tell you like this. My president, or my vice president, my lieutenant governor, my governor is not right here on Channing Drive. But guess what? My neighbor is. So if my neighbor needs something, okay, hey, man, you know, like my one neighbor down the road, he's 4 houses down, senior citizen. He calls me up once a week. Hey, Dom, you know, we get to get in there early. Do you need anything? I could pick up an extra roll of toilet paper, pack of toilet paper, something like that. Come on, guys. Whatever happened to that? I grew up where everyone knew everybody on the block. If, as a child, when I did something wrong, when I say I got my hind parts whipped, my butt whipped all the way until I got home, then got another whipping when I got home, no one talked. Now, I'm not saying do that now, but I'm just saying, for me, for my upbringing, no one said, oh, don't touch my child, don't say this to my child. They say, you Miss Murray's grandson, ain't you? Are you supposed to be throwing them rocks? Come on up here. So get on the porch. Don't come in the house because you're dirty. Boom. Smack my behind. Then the neighbor tells another neighbor. By the time I get home, my grandmother and grandfather wore my behind out. And guess what? To this day, I don't pick up no damn rocks. But at the end of the day, it takes a village to raise a child. But even if you take that out of the equation, as human beings, as neighbors, you should be able to say, hey, neighbor, you know what? I got to run to the store. I'll be right back, or I'm going out of town. Can you watch my house for me? They don't got to come inside, but, you know, I'm going to be out of town. So, you know, just make sure no one's coming over, stuff like that. Or can I borrow a cup of sugar? Can I borrow an egg? You know, it's just, I don't understand it, guys. And it's not for me to understand. It's just for me to give you my opinion and give you the facts. And I'm going to do this every day around 5, between 4 and 5. You know, today I got an appointment at 5. So, but every day I'm going to try to do this knowledge is power hour. So, and I'll repost it, but, and I'll continue to give you guys some printouts. And just so you guys know, while I was turning around, I got it pre-written up there so I wouldn't be looking down. You know, I don't mind sharing my secrets, because, we all learning here. Boom. There we go. We all learning here. You know, we all family. You know, I'm not looking to be no professional podcaster or nothing like that. I'm just keeping it real. So until next time, guys, as I always say, be mentally strong, physically strong, socially strong like we are now, and spiritually strong. Peace. Love.